Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I am the Tachyons Guru here today in this video to talk to you about the Tachyon deck. So recently, we have gotten two new cards that have greatly supported the deck. One that you're seeing right now called Numbers Protection. When a spell or trap card, when a spell or trap card or a monster effect is activated, while you control a number exceeds monster, you can negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. If a number monster, if a number exceeds monster you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, while this card is in your graveyard, you can set this card but banish it when it leaves the field. So basically, we have another copy of Tachyon Transmog. Well, not exactly, but we now have another counter trap negate in Duel Links right now. The second piece of support that we got, well, technically not, but the second part of Dragon support we got in Duel Links is Hieratic Seal of Heavenly Spears. I probably butchered the pronunciation, but this is the new Link monster that came with the bundle inside of the recent box. It requires two dragon monsters, if this is a link two, but once per your opponent's turn, if this card's in the extra monster zone, you contribute one monster from your hand or field to bounce a face-up card from their field to their hand. And if this card is tributed, you can special summon a dragon monster from your hand or deck, but it's attacking defense is zero. This not only is this really good because this is a non-targeting bounce, which is a really good piece of removal. It's also a way that we can get recursion on the field through bringing one of our dragons out. So, like, let's say I activate this, I tribute this. Now I get the option of summoning this to the field and then having a wall of monsters and follow up from the next turn, so I can go into my toolbox. The deck hasn't changed super whole lot. You obviously got your regular staples. You got your effect fillers. You got your Book of Eclipse. Trading is something that I'm considering changing because right now, so the original idea is that I use this to draw into my staples, but I think right now, how the meta is currently, I think I would rather replace this with two Ghost Mourners, so I have more negates during my opponent's turn. But other than that, this is the deck list I have right now. If anyone else has more of this, feel free to share. And if I make it the king against this, I'll update you guys on this. But yeah, let's get to the duels. The first duel is up against Shadal's, and and this is where I really showcase the potential of the new support with seals. So basically, I start this off by normal summoning my safer after I using the skill. Of course, I accidentally linked off my Galactic Spire, but normally what you do is that you link off your other level 8 and then mix seals, and then you grab it back with safer. So you manage to get Heretic Seals and Tachyon Dragon on the field with Tachyon Transmigration set as well. So you'll have two guaranteed disruptions, not to mention whatever you may have in your hand. Now, right now, I did not have anything in my hand, so I have to just pass, the, just do this combo and pass. But you can see the framework right here. Now they activating their skin, and they some of this monster that I have to negate, or they would have removed my Tachyon Dragon. But it's all good. I still have another piece of destruction proof sealed. Now they summoned this monster, which I had to remove this, or else it would have been really bad. Because this monster has an effect that allows him to not only negate a card but destroy it. They go back into it with this fusion spell, but I managed to out it with my other monster because they let me set this up. And thankfully I was able to pull through a win through Shaw. They are a really tough matchup if you're not going first. So be very careful. Darko wasn't in my original deck list because this was during time where I was testing stuff out. The progress from here. So for this next tool, you'll get to see a more full board and what the full potential of this deck can be. So I do the usual setup, but but more accurate. But there's not really any wasted cards here. I make seal, activate Safer to bring back my monster to my hand, and then activate the Spiral Nebula Dragon from my hand in order to make Tachyon Dragon and get my Transmigration. And then I set free and pass, and then I set two and pass. Really strong board. Now what I'm up against is Infernoble here, but as you can see, they're no trouble for this deck because I managed to bounce back their monster, which made them waste their quick spell, and get ready to set up for my next turn. As you can see, they folded immediately. Now for this next duel, I was facing a kind of Utopia FTK, but I managed to prevent them from. But since I went first, they not. Yeah, I went first because I managed to prevent them from getting that FTK. Now you'll see in the next duel, I was not so fortunate. I actually did encounter a lot of FTKs during my journey in this, which is really rough. Which is why I originally wanted to get those those hand trap negates I was talking about earlier. But yeah, we're doing the usual setup here. 107. And now we have three negates and one bounce. They go into their usual Utopia play. Yep, they add these two cards to their hand. And I wait until they summon Utopia double, because then I could take out all of their cards at once. Now they're gonna try and go back to Utopia again and then make the, the Leo Ray, but I stopped that with seals, and then I had followed up for the next turn. As you can see, this makes the deck really strong. Now in this game, I was not so fortunate to avoid the FTK, and as you can see, my my hand could not stop this. It was over. They make Solomon Great Alliance, Ben Alliance. I probably butchered the pronunciation. And then they make Cyberverse Witch, the usual Cyberverse Clock Dragon FTK. I was not fortunate enough to stop this, so we take the L on this. Link free, Deco Talker into the Firewall Dragon. Then he activates Silent Ritual to bring out that Cyber First stage. And then this is the beginning of the end for me. He used Levianeer to bring back the catapult turtle, and it was GG's. In this next duel, I faced Shadal again, but it's with a different skill. Thankfully, I was able to take it down with my sub again. They did not have the counters to stop this, thankfully. Hieratic Seals. Bring back the monster and then make that Tachyon dragon, baby. Now, what I did right there, it was make Cypher Blade, because in the case that he paused my monster, I'll be able to revive Cypher Dragon again and still have Tachyon Transmigration a lot. You could choose between doing that or keeping Transmigration in hand and just making Tachyon Dragon regularly, so you can avoid backward move. It's up to you, and depending on which scenario you're facing. But yeah, I prevent them from getting their fusion, and I prevent them from getting their spellbook. They go into Dogmatica here, but it's not too much of a concern for me. They bounce they bounce my monster back into the deck, but again, no, not too much of a struggle for me. I activate Book of the Clips there to end their turn, and they're forced to surrender. So in this next duel, I faced off a invo- no, I faced off a Crusader deck. Now he put up a lot of negates, but thankfully I was able to push through with Neo Tachyon Dragon. Now usually wherever you can, you should try and push for Neo Tachyon Dragon to OTK because it's completely sterilizes the field. If they if they let it resolve, it's over. They can the only way they can stop it is with hand traps or graveyard effects. So yeah, always try and go and push for Neo Tachyon Dragon if you can, as long as it as long as you can get relief from there as well. If you have to give up security, don't though, because you never want to leave yourself in a bad position. I've lost a few duels because of that. They negate my trainings, which is good for me because that means they have one less negate. We go tagging on dragon. We get the rank of matchup from our skill, and then we OTK, baby. Neo attacking on dragon, baby. They try to negate it, but it's already too late. And then I make full armor dragon to pop their last monster and go for a clean 4K hit. And now we're on to the final duel of the night. Facing Utopia again, but thankfully it's not an FDK. And I'm going first, so I can take advantage. I'm not set up again. I decided to play the patient game here to avoid lava golem, but just make them seals only. And then send but they had the Galaxy Cyclone for my book, but it's okay because I still have Effect Feller and my Nebula Dragon. So move. They go into their usual setup. Try to make that Utopia double. The, to then make Ultimate Utopia Leo Ray. However, they made one fatal mistake that they accidentally activated too early, and I was able to negate all those effects with one effect Vela. Now they try to go back into Ultimate Leo Ray, rank up magic, but thankfully I was able to stop that. And because of my setup earlier, I'm able to OTK here. We make our XCs at number 07, the Tachyon transmigration, and it's GG's from there. Boom, full armor dragon, pop the monster, OTK, 4K hit. But that's all the duels for tonight. Thank you all for watching this video. If you have any more ideas, feel free to leave them in the comments. If I manage to get further with this deck, I'll keep y'all updated. Feel free to talk to me in my channel if you ever want to talk about anything Galaxy Eyes related. We have an entire Discord with people who are interested in many archetypes. So feel free to pop in and say hello anytime. But yeah, I'm the Galaxy Guru, and thank you for watching.